In the deep silence of a forgotten jungle, something extraordinary happened that I could have predicted. It was a late afternoon. The sky heavy with smoke from a distant lightning strike. Sparks danced through the dry leaves as flames quietly crept toward the heart of the jungle. High up on a fragile branch, a tiny sparrow had built her nest, a home filled with delicate hope in the form of 3 white eggs. But fate was about to test that hope. The fire moved fast, licking the trees with red tongues, cracking branches like bones. The mother sparrow flapped desperately, calling out into the trees, her eyes fixed on her nest as smoke curled around it. She didn't fly away, not yet. She chirped louder, again and again, but her wings were no match for the heat growing beneath her. And just when it seemed all was lost, the ground shook. A massive figure emerged, silent, deliberate. An old elephant, scarred by time, stepped out from the trees. He didn't trumpet, he didn't panic. He looked up at the burning tree, then down at the terrified bird circling above. And then, with a forceful blow from his trunk, he struck the base of the tree, not to destroy it, but to make it fall away from the flames. The tree, it fell slowly, gently toward a patch of soft, damp mud. The nest landed hard, but not crushed. The elephant moved again. He stepped toward it, using his massive body to shield the fragile life within. Rain finally arrived, drops falling like hope from the sky. But it wasn't the rain that saved the eggs, it was the choice of a creature known for its memory, known for wisdom, but rarely seen as a protector of birds. The mother sparrow returned to the broken nest. She chirped once, softly, touching her beak to the cracked bark. Her eggs were intact. She looked up at the elephant, still standing guard. He didn't wait for thanks. Slowly, he turned and walked back into the green, vanishing like a ghost of the jungle. That day, nothing was spoken. No words were needed. In a world where survival often means every creature for itself, one giant paused to save something small, something weak, something helpless. That moment wasn't just a rescue. It was a reminder. In the wild, where only the strong are supposed to thrive, it was compassion, not strength, that truly ruled. If you find this story interesting, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. The sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple. The air in the jungle grew thick with the symphony of crickets and the distant calls of nocturnal bullfrogs. In the heart of this vibrant chaos, perched atop a termite mound, sat a young monitor lizard, his sharp eyes scanning the forest floor. His name was Ziggy, and he was patiently waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Suddenly, his gaze locked onto a plump mouse darting through the undergrowth. With lightning reflexes, Ziggy launched himself into action. He slithered swiftly, his body as sinuous as a whip, and in a flash, he was upon his prey. The mouse, cut off guard, squeaked in terror as Ziggy's powerful jaws clamped onto its back. As the monitor lizard savored his well-earned meal, a pair of luminous eyes emerged from the shadows. A large, sleek cat, every inch the picture of feline grace and power, had silently stalked closer. This was Kaya, the queen of the night, and she was hungry. For a moment, their eyes met, predator and predator, each sizing up the other. A tense standoff ensued. A silent battle of wills played out beneath the star-studded sky. Then, as quickly as it began, it was over. Ziggy, with a low hiss, retreated into the underbrush, giving Kaya the kill and establishing their unique pact. A truce born out of mutual respect and understanding. In this unforgiving jungle, even sworn enemies could unite against a common foe and share the spoils. Nature's hierarchy was fluid, and alliances could shift, like the sands of the desert. Sometimes the smallest creatures could bring the mightiest down, and even mortal enemies could form uneasy alliances. As Kaya disappeared into the foliage, her lithe frame weaving effortlessly through the dense vegetation, Ziggy watched her go, his forked tongue tasting the air. The jungle was a place of constant change, where danger lurked around every corner and survival depended on adaptability. But tonight, there would be no conflict, no bloodshed. Tonight, the jungle had its own plans. Deep within the emerald embrace of the jungle, hidden from prying eyes and the scorching sun, lay a sanctuary of sorts. A fallen log, half buried in the damp earth, served as both shelter and a fortress for its inhabitants. Here, amidst the tangled roots and the comforting scent of decaying wood, lived a colony of leafcutter ants. These industrious insects, their bodies a rich tapestry of red and black, were engaged in their daily ritual, diligently carrying back the bounty of the forest. Each ant a tiny cog in the grand machine of the colony, scurried back and forth, their loads of leaves and flowers a testament to their ceaseless labor. Their foraging parties fanned out, each member following an invisible path, their antennae twitching in unison. They ventured deep into the emerald labyrinth, venturing far from the safety of their subterranean home. Their mission, a vital one, was to gather the raw materials for the growth and sustenance of their colony. These tireless workers, oblivious to the dangers that lurked in the shadows, continued their relentless pursuit of sustenance. Yet they weren't alone in this endeavor. For the jungle, too, added secrets, its own watchful eyes that followed their every move. In the canopy above, a troop of macaque monkeys swung languidly from branch to branch, their chatter echoing through the trees. Their beady eyes, ever on the lookout for food, followed the ants with keen interest. The monkeys, with their playful antics and insatiable appetites, were always on the prowl for a tasty treat. The ants, unaware of the danger looming above, continued their laborious task, their focus unwavering. But the monkeys, with their acrobatic prowess, soon closed in on their unsuspecting quarry. As the monkeys descended from the canopy, nimble and quick, the ants faced a new threat, their fragile lives hanging in the balance, their existence teetering on the edge of peril. The clash between these two worlds, the industrious ants and the mischievous monkeys, was about to reach a fever pitch. In the heart of the jungle, where every creature played its part in the intricate dance of life, an unexpected showdown was about to unfold, and as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the forest floor, the stage was set for a battle of wills and wits. In the heart of the Amazon rainforest, where the air hung heavy with moisture and the symphony of insects buzzed incessantly, a clearing had become the stage for an unusual drama. A troop of capuchin monkeys, their nimble hands gripping sturdy vines, had surrounded a lone howler monkey. The smaller macaques outnumbered the solitary howler, their gazes locked in a silent standoff. The howler, with his distinctive black fur and a face adorned with white markings, was known for his thunderous calls that echoed through the jungle. But now he found himself cornered, his back pressed against the rough bark of a towering tree. The standoff culminated in a sudden burst of movement. One of the macaques, bolder than the rest, lunged forward, seizing the howler's tail in its grasp. The howler, startled by the audacity of the attack, let out a surprised screech, his tail thrashing wildly. The macaques, their small hands working in unison, tightened their grip, determined to hold on despite the furious struggles of their captive. As the howler thrashed, the clearing echoed with the sounds of the struggle, his desperate cries mingling with the derisive squeals of the macaques. But the attackers were persistent, their determination fueled by an ancient instinct for dominance. With a howler immobilized and vulnerable, the alpha male of the macaque troop stepped forward. He reached out with a hand, his eyes gleaming with a mixture of challenge and dominance, and pulled the fur away from the howler's face, revealing his teeth. It was a moment of high tension, a display of power and submission, a silent acknowledgement of the shifting dynamics in the jungle hierarchy. Suddenly, a loud crash reverberated through the clearing, momentarily breaking the intense focus of the macaques. Startled, they turned their heads toward the source of the commotion, their grip on the howler's tail loosening slightly. Seizing the opportunity, the howler mustered a surge of strength, shaking off the stupor that had momentarily held him captive. With a swift kick, he connected with one of the macaques, sending it tumbling to the ground. Adrenaline surged through the howler as he took advantage of the distraction. With a mighty leap, he vaulted over the heads of the astonished macaques and disappeared into the dense foliage. The clearing, which moments ago had been a hub of activity, was now eerily silent. The macaques, shaken but not defeated, watched the howler disappear into the jungle. The brief skirmish had disrupted the balance of power, leaving the macaques with a newfound respect for the strength of their solitary adversary. As the howler vanished into the emerald depths of the rainforest, the sound of his echoing call carried on the wind, a triumphant resonance that spoke of resilience and cunning.